Greetings, friends, and welcome to another chapter of Page Snap. Today we turn to a dark page from Tara Kaushal's book, Why Men Rape: An Indian Undercover Investigation. It's time we stop meekly saying, "Protect our daughters," and instead proudly declare, "Teach our sons." Why does such violence happen, and how can it be stopped? Welcome to this investigation, a deep dive into the complex and disturbing issue of sexual violence. Tara Kaushal's book, Why Men Rape: An Indian Undercover Investigation, confronts us with a harsh reality that many choose to ignore, and it's our moral, even fundamental duty to understand this. Today we will also listen to conversations between Tara Kaushal and the perpetrators. This journey begins when author Tara Kaushal decides to go undercover, an act that demands not only courage, but also a deep understanding of the risks involved. She had to interact directly with these men, listen to their stories, and uncover the justifications they use to rationalize their actions. Let's find out what our brave author discovered. Part 1. The importance of understanding the criminal mindset. Tara Kaushal, while undercover, is talking to a man who justifies his violent actions. The conversation went something like this. Tara: "Why did you do it? Didn't you think it was wrong?" Man: "Why wrong? That woman was showing too much freedom. She needed to be taught a lesson." Tara: "But was this the right way?" Man: "If men don't show their limits, women will walk all over them. We've been taught this since childhood." A major takeaway from Tara's investigation is the importance of understanding the mindset of perpetrators. This is not to justify their behavior, but to understand the thoughts and beliefs that drive them to commit such acts. Tara's undercover interviews revealed that many of these men genuinely believe their actions are justified because they have a deep-seated sense of entitlement over women. The key takeaways from this section are: power and control. Many sexual offenders operate under the belief that they have the right to control women. This sense of entitlement is often a result of patriarchal upbringing, where boys are taught that dominance over women is a natural part of being a man. Justification and rationalization. Understanding the justifications offered by perpetrators helps us understand how societal norms contribute to the problem. For instance, blaming the victim's clothing or behavior is a common rationalization, highlighting how our culture often holds women responsible for the violence inflicted upon them. Normalization of violence. The interviews reveal that in some communities, violence against women is normalized, where such acts are not seen as crimes but as expressions of masculinity or even disciplinary measures. Part 2. Society's role in perpetuating rape culture. Tara Kaushal is talking to a man who blames the victim for the assault, highlighting the societal attitudes that perpetuate rape culture. The conversation went something like this. Tara: "Do you think you are solely responsible for your actions, or does society also play a role?" Man: "Look, women should know their limits. If they wear revealing clothes and roam around at night, someone or the other will do something like this. We are just doing what society teaches us." Tara: "But don't you think this thinking is wrong? Society should take responsibility for the safety of women." Man: "Absolutely, but women should also understand this is how it has always been in society. If they want respect, they should follow society's rules." Another key takeaway from the book is how society plays a role in perpetuating rape culture. Kaushal's investigation reveals that sexual violence is not just a consequence of individual deviance, but is deeply rooted in societal structures. Key takeaways. Patriarchy and gender roles. Patriarchy isn't just about men having power over women. It's about societal expectations that enforce rigid gender roles. Men are often taught to be dominant, to be masculine, while women are taught to be submissive. These roles directly contribute to the pervasiveness of sexual violence, systemic failures. Tara highlights the failures of various institutions, such as the legal system and the media, which often fail to support victims or hold perpetrators accountable. For instance, victim blaming in the media or a dismissive attitude from law enforcement can discourage victims from seeking justice and embolden perpetrators. Cultural narratives. The book also explores how cultural narratives around sexuality and power contribute to rape culture. In many societies, sexuality is linked to power and control rather than mutual respect and consent. This dangerous narrative underpins many acts of sexual violence. It is crucial to understand that harassment is not just an individual crime, but a societal issue. To combat rape culture, we need to challenge the norms, narratives, and institutions that perpetuate it. This means advocating for systemic change and working to transform cultural attitudes about gender and power. Part 3. Psychological factors behind rape. Tara Kaushal is talking to a man who has committed sexual assault, trying to understand the psychological motivations behind his actions. Tara, what you did you ever feel it was wrong, or did you have any regrets? Man, wrong? No, I don't think so. I just had this feeling that I should get what I want, and that girl was refusing me. It made me angry. Tara, so do you think your anger was justified and you couldn't control it? Man, I feel like if I don't get what I want, it questions my manhood. I wanted her to give in, and so I did it. Tara, did you ever think about her pain or suffering? Man, no, at that time all I had in mind was that I had to get my way. I didn't pay attention to her feelings at that time. Kaushal's book also provides valuable insights into the psychological factors that drive men to commit rape. Understanding these factors is essential to addressing the root causes of sexual violence. Key takeaways: narcissism and lack of empathy. Many of the men interviewed by Kaushal displayed traits of narcissism, including a lack of empathy and an inflated sense of self-importance. These psychological traits allow them to dehumanize their victims and justify their actions. Insecurity and power. Some rapists are driven by deep-rooted insecurities. For these men, rape becomes a way to assert power and control, compensating for feelings of inadequacy or rejection experienced in other areas of their lives. Socialization and psychological conditioning. The psychological traits that contribute to rape are often reinforced by societal norms. For instance, boys are socialized to believe that aggression is an acceptable expression of masculinity, which can increase the likelihood of developing psychological tendencies that lead to rape. Addressing the psychological factors behind rape requires both individual and societal efforts. On an individual level, it's about promoting empathy and emotional intelligence. On a societal level, it's about challenging socialization processes that contribute to harmful psychological traits. Finally, the book provides crucial takeaways on how we can move forward in the fight against sexual violence. Kaushal emphasizes that change needs to happen at multiple levels: individual, societal, and systemic. Key takeaways: comprehensive education. One of the most powerful tools to prevent sexual violence is education. Kaushal advocates for comprehensive sex education that includes discussions on consent, respect, and gender equality. Such education should begin early and continue throughout all stages of life. Legal and institutional reform. Legal reforms are essential to hold perpetrators accountable and support victims through the judicial process. This includes training law enforcement to handle such cases with sensitivity and ensuring that the judiciary delivers justice swiftly and fairly. Cultural transformation. Cultural change is perhaps the most challenging but also the most essential aspect of preventing rape. This involves changing the portrayal of gender roles in the media, redefining our conversations around sexuality and power, and transforming our responses to instances of sexual violence. It requires a collective effort to reject victim blaming and support survivors in every way possible. The fight against sexual violence is multifaceted and requires action on multiple fronts. By educating ourselves and others, advocating for legal reforms, and working to transform cultural attitudes, we can contribute to a society where sexual violence is not tolerated and where everyone's rights and dignity are respected. As we conclude this discussion, it's important to remember that Why Men Rape is not just a book, but a call to action. If you found this summary helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel to see more book summaries. Your little support and love give us immense encouragement to create more intellectual and inspiring content. Let us know in the comments which book you want a summary of next. Knowledge grows by sharing, so don't forget to share this video with your loved ones. Thank you and see you in the next video.